Hi! Hi, you little terror! Hi! How you doing? Yeah. You were a bitch. Yeah. Oh my god, this dog. No, not fussed. No, she doesn't trust me. So we're not on speaking terms right now because of what happened this morning. So what happened this morning, folks, is that Lulu had a vet visit. I had to take her to the vet because she had a vaccination. So she had a jab, and oh boy, she does not like vets at all. And to be fair, I don't blame her. Like, she was fine with the vets when they weren't sticking their fingers up her bum, but one day she had to have her glands done, and from that point, to be fair, that's quite memorable, frankly. You know, if you're minding your own business, then that happens with a rubber glove. So, what happened last night at around 10 in the evening, so after the Armour game that we played, I heated up some beef mince that I'd bought, and I mixed in 2 drugs, 2 sedatives. One of them was called, I can't remember, and the other one was called trazodone. And they're meant to be sort of anti-epileptic sort of like relaxants. They're meant to relax her. So last night, she devoured the beef and the medicine, and after that, nothing. No effect. We cuddled, we went to bed, everything was fine, and yeah, everything was fine. Anyway, in the morning, I prepared the food and was about to give it to her. Gabapentin, is that the one? That might be right. Zed. Anyway, I found her completely fucking stoned. Like, completely fucking zoned out, zonked. Like, was flopped down, didn't want to get up. She was so fucking baked. And she would just stare at me like, huh? I'm like, bloody hell. She was on some really, she was on some proper sedatives. And so she was spaced out and just chilling, and we were just having a cuddle and we were just having a good snuggle. Anyway, so I prepared the other batch of sedatives, put it in some beef, put with a bit of cheese, gave it to her. She wouldn't eat it. She just would not eat it. She would sort of lazily chew the cheese, but she was on to me. She knew that I was drugging her, or she could smell it, because every time I tried to give her a piece of the beef with the drug in it, she would just sort of chew it and then just spit it out. She knew. She could tell somehow that there was medicine in it. And so eventually the beef started to be augmented with more and more cheese until there was barely any beef in it compared to the cheese. I was just giving her a mountain of cheese. She would not eat it. I couldn't get this fucking sedative into this fucking into this stone dog. So I thought, okay, maybe the first dose would be enough. And we get in the car, we take a drive to the vet. And we get out, I find a parking spot. It's relatively close to the vet, but not super duper close. So a bit of I want to say it's about 600 meters, roughly. Anyway, we start walking down the street. She would not walk. She was too fucking stoned. So I scooped her up in my hands and carried her across the threshold. I carried her into the vet. I got many looks of sort of, like from people who saw me carrying a very, very tired looking Frenchie. And Lulu was just sort of staring around at things, and we get inside the vet. We sit down in the waiting room. Lulu's just chilling. I'm feeding her these little high-value treats. And we go into the vet room. We see the vet. His name is Diego. Again, I saw him a couple of weeks ago. And at which point, I said, okay, she's a bit aggressive, hence the sedative. I've also got her muzzle to put on her. I recommend we put the muzzle on her before we attempt to do the vaccination jab. I put the muzzle on her, okay, and then I pick her up. It got the harness on, okay. I pick her up to do the vaccination, and it was like a fucking light switch just went on. She just instantly, it's almost like the sedative just went whoop, gone out of her system. She was a snarling murder beast, like full-on snarling, snapping, writhing, twisting. I had her in my arms. She was somersaulting. I'm not even exaggerating. She was twisting so much that she was actually going round in circles in my hand. The vet with the fucking needle was trying to find a bit of skin that wasn't spinning, and I was worried he was going to stick me in the hand at this point, and I was going to get vaccinated against whatever it is, kennel cough. But she's fucking rolling. She's legit rage in my hands. It's, oh my god. And she was snarling and snapping and trying to kill the vet. And I turned to the vet and I said, do you think we can give her a stronger dose for next time? And the vet looked at me and he said, that is a strong dose. I was like, I was almost proud of my dog. Like, Lulu does not give a fuck. Lulu doesn't give a shit about, like, sedate me. I don't care. She's going to try and attack you anyway. Crafty says, still cracks me up. Trazodone knocks my ass out. Jesus, Lulu.
Yeah.
Yes, who's a good girl. In a bit, please let me tell you the story of Lulu's horrifically bad week that she's having.
Yes, I saw a single message. She's eating the vet. That's all
you can tell us now if you'd like.
Lulu's having one of the worst weeks she's had in a long time because she's got a few things, like she was going for a vaccination this week, right? On Friday, I noticed that she has an injury on her eyeball.
Oh.
So I got really I entered dad mode and I started Googling what could this mean. Oh no, it's an it's an immunodeficiency or something like that. And the vet laughed at me and just went, no, it's like she's cut her eyeball.
Oh, she's cut the eyeball.
She's got like a physical, like something has hit the eyeball. Like she's got like a little puncture. Yeah, tiny puncture by the looks of things. It's either that or it's an ulcer. So she's got this eye injury, and the vet was like, okay, if I leave the room, can you take this green dye on a pipette and put it in her eyeball? And so here I was trying to get this green dye it's like to look at it under the light. And so she's like, I'm trying to get something in her eyeball, and she's like kicking and fighting, and she doesn't like it. I'm sweating like crazy because obviously the vet's watching me because we need to get this thing in her eyeball. And eventually I managed to get some in there, like some green dye. I like spray half of it all over his table. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I made a mess of your table. So anyway, my God, yesterday, and we've got to go back to the vet later this week to make sure it's all healing. Otherwise, we might have to go in for surgery, like emergency surgery to fix the eye. So it's all very stressful. But just trying to get eye drops into this fucking dog. Fuck. Anyway, so this morning, I took Lulu down to see my mum just to get some attention, whatever. And as we were walking back up the road, this was about like an hour ago, we were walking back up the road, and I was looking at my phone. I wasn't really paying attention, and Lulu stopped behind me. She stops sometimes. She just sort of smells something. Anyway, I turned around to see what she's looking at after a few seconds, and she's frozen in a driveway, just on the edge of a driveway, because about 3 meters in front of her up the driveway is a large black cat staring at her.
No.
And Lulu's staring at this black cat, and the black cat's staring back. Again, this was about an hour ago. And I think that, she's just, she's being Lulu. And so Lulu lunges. So she lunges, but I've got the lead firm, so she can't move. So all she does is go up on her hind legs, to sort of jump towards it. And, anyway, the cat attacks Lulu.
Oh.
The cat attacked Lulu. It went straight for her, claws out, into her face, jamming its claws into her other eye, or trying to.
Oh,
Ah.
And so I immediately sort of pull Lulu away, but I don't need to because Lulu's running into me. So we're both sort of backing away, and this cat is just lunging, trying to stab her eye out. And I can't remember because my adrenaline was going. I think I might have tried to kick the cat away, but it just kept. I grabbed Lulu. My phone went flying. I grabbed Lulu, put her in my hands, and started trying to flee over the road. And the cat was trying to chase us. And
That's mad.
I was thinking to myself, am I going to have to fucking kill this cat? I was about to kick it in the head. Like, legit, I was obviously my adrenaline was going. I was thinking, I can't just kill some random fucking domestic cat. Anyway, so I run over the road, or like walk backwards over the road, not showing my back to this fucking thing. I think I was hissing at it. I know.
What a vision this would have been.
And anyway, this woman, her car, she pulled and parked and got out and saw what was going on and started like chasing the cat away with her keys. And afterwards we were looking at Lulu and she had blood all down her face.
Oh my God.
Fuck.
So she's really had an awful week.
And she is having an awful week.
So she's going to be walking around like a pirate.
Yeah. It's the other eye. It's not the same eye.
Yeah, literally double pirate. A patch over either.
I'm like, oh my God, Lulu, and to be fair, Lulu did kind of start it, to be honest. She did lunge at this cat, and I assume the cat...
And then immediately regressed.
Yeah, she got humbled today. She lost a fight.
Normally with cats, mind you, they like slap a little and then kind of chill. They don't chase.
Yeah, so this one...
It's like, wow, that's impressive.
It didn't like slash. It wasn't like a cartoon. It was almost like trying to touch her in the face with its claws outstretched. That's what it looked like.
Trying to grab?
And Lulu just sort of fled, and then she sort of barrel rolled onto her side in a panic. So the cat just started, I think it was going for her chest, or again, it happened so
Hold
fast. And I was wrong, because I've been saying for years, if Lulu went for a cat, she'd try and kill it. No, she immediately tried to run away and roll on
Well,
her
it depends on
side.
the cat as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, the cat fought back, so maybe she was like,
Yeah.
maybe not this one.
Kind of reminds me of small dog syndrome, where they're like,
Yeah.
Yes.
they
Yeah.
will go for everything, but as soon as something
Yep, that's exactly
knocks
what
back,
happened.
they're
Yeah.
like,
Ah, dear.
oh no, Daddy hit me. What?
I mean, that could change depending on context.
Yep.
So, sorry, what was I saying? So Lulu had some surgery today, and I'm just going to recount the story of how it went. I've got some pictures to show you. I've got a bit of a show and tell. But yeah, so what happened? Right. So apparently, under the green light, what is it? Is it the UV light? Well, you know, the dark light. Basically, they put some green dye in her eyeball, and then they shone a light on it, and they determined that no, she'd managed to puncture her eyeball. And so, what had formed beneath was an ulcer. And so, I was given some antibiotic eye drops and told to come back in a few days. So, I started giving those eye drops to her. Oh my god, the drama. The unbelievable drama that is trying to give a dog eye drops. I think I spilt like half of this 46-pound bottle of antibiotics all over the sofa as opposed to her eyeball because she just resisted. But again, riddle me this. She won't let me get into her eyeball with a pipette, but she will let me put a bit of the liquid on my finger and then literally poke her in the eyeball. Like full-on comedy cartoon. Bloop. She's fine with that. She's totally fine with that. She just doesn't want the pipette going near her. Oh? Anyway, so I started giving the antibiotic eye drops and then took her back to the vet a few days later, only to discover, according to the vet, that it was not healing. So it was a non-healing ulcer. And so he referred me to an eye specialist that they've got at a different vet. And so we went there and we spoke to a guy called Carlos. That was his name. So Carlos was an eye specialist. And so we had a word with him, and he said what he'd like to do. So I got more antibiotics, like a different type of antibiotics, and quite expensive. Yeah, all of this is expensive. And I was told to come back later, and we're going to do some surgery. So essentially, the surgery, for those who have not been watching, is they were going to. Is it debride? Is that the term? Where they essentially remove some of the damaged tissue. So what he showed me this diagram of essentially what looked like a drill bit. It looked like a spherical drill bit, and he said that what they're going to do, they're going to sedate her, and then they're going to use this drill bit to sort of remove some of the tissue very, very carefully around the ulcer to promote healing. So, the day of the appointment, the surgery day, arrives, okay? And I must admit, shame on me, I'm terrible at this. I'm really, really attached to my dog. I'm so attached to my dog. I love this dog to pieces. It's probably a bit cringe, but I'm so in love with this dog that I really didn't get much work done today because I was a little stress ball. I was sort of like, I couldn't stop thinking about Lulu, and of course I was taking the dog in for surgery, and it's just a small bit of sedation, but you know what I mean. Like, there's always risks, and I'm sitting there, and the nurse is talking to me. And she's like, listing all the risks of anesthetic and, stuff that can happen and blah, blah, blah. And so I'm sort of signing the waivers, as it were. And I was like very, very carefully signing the waiver. It was like, do we not resuscitate? I'm like, no, for fuck's sake, resuscitate. Don't you dare lose this dog. Anyway, so we go in. I hand her over, and Lulu gives me this forlorn look of like, where are you going? You're leaving me with these people? I was like, I'm so sorry, you gotta stay here, Lulu. And so, anyway, off she goes. So I drop her off at the vet this morning, is the point. Okay, so here I was, sitting at home, worried about Lulu, and hoping everything was gonna be okay. I get a phone call at lunchtime from Carlos, the eye specialist. What does Carlos tell me? Yeah, we've just sedated Lulu. I'm like, okay. And then he says, it didn't work. I'm like, what do you mean it didn't work? He said it didn't work. She's already on the trazodone and the gabapentin, now the sedatives, and she's just too angry to be sedated. And I'm like, you can't be serious. Carlos wants to know if he has permission to not do sedation, but to do with full-on knock her out general anesthetic. So put her under. Now, because she's a brachycephalic? Because she's like a short-nosed breed, there are dangers with anesthetic. There are serious dangers. So he said, so we're going to intubate, is that the correct term? They're going to put a tube down her throat, and they're going to give her oxygen, and they're going to put her under full general anesthetic. So I was like, okay, so long as you feel it's safe, please put her under general anesthetic. Obviously, it's going to be charging me more, but it's fine. I'm caring more about Lulu. So they put her under. Obviously, I'm a huge fucking, like, I'm a mess this afternoon. I'm so sorry. I'm so worried about my dog. And I received this other phone call, and the phone call said, everything went fine. The surgery went fine. They managed to get into the eye, and they removed quite a bit of the ulcer tissue, so it should heal. I've got some more so Lulu is recuperating from the anesthetic, and she's in her cage. Can you pick her up in about 3 hours? And I said, okay, I can do that. 45 minutes later, I receive another phone call. This time, it's from a lady called Sabrina, who's a nurse. And Sabrina tells me, Lulu's woken up from the general anesthetic and is now pacing around her cage in circles like crazy. Can you come and pick her up? Nothing. She's the fucking Slayer. Like the Slayer has entered the facility. She's refusing to be sedated. Like, she went down, but she didn't hear no fucking bell. She's up again, and she's trying to bite them. Like, you know, she's basically pacing around her fucking cage. She won't eat her food. That's what they said. She won't eat her food, and she's clearly in distress. So I immediately stopped what I was doing, ran to the car, got in the car, fucking drove the half an hour journey to get to the vet. Went to wait for the vet to arrive. Them to go get Lulu. And I'm not exaggerating. I know this story sounds like I'm exaggerating. She flew out of the fucking door, like, no sedation, no sign of sedation. She just lunged at me to get to me. Like, she was so separation anxiety. She zoomed through the door and was like running around at my feet like crazy, like panting and just happy to see me. And this is Lulu, everyone. Stoned off her tits, even though she was so she was super energized and raring to go. But the moment she got home, oh my god, she was so fucking stoned. She was so fucking high. She was seeing colors that no one has seen before. She was just so conked out and stoned, and like she would climb up onto the sofa, and like the moment she got there, it's like she forgot that her legs were a thing, and she just went, she just flopped down, and frankly, most of this afternoon has just been me fretting, like a mother hen over Lulu. I put all the cushions on the floor and made sure that there's nothing that she could bump into, and was just giving her lots and lots of lovies. But oh my god, yeah, she's totally... And then I invited my mum round. That's my mum on the right. I invited my mum round to give her some love, because, Lulu needed some attention. And so Lulu just sort of stared off into space with her mouth hung open. Just... dearie me. So yeah, Lulu was properly high for the whole afternoon. And now, she's still high. She's still properly conked out behind me, but she's okay. She's okay. We got through it. I think so too, Vastany. I think that's exactly what happened. I think when she was in the vets, her adrenaline was just going like crazy. And yeah, the moment she got back, it's like she was safe and she could relax. And so I took her into the garden, and we just sort of, we had a good cuddle, and we just sort of chilled out for a bit. Oh, sorry. Oh my god. I forgot a part of the story. I'm so sorry. I forgot a part of the story about Lulu's trip to the vets. I was on the phone, and you know when I said that she was too angry to be sedated, apparently when she was sedated, she shat all over the table. And so the poor nurse, when she came out with Lulu, she gave me this apologetic smile frown and said, I cleaned her up as best as I could. And I was like, what does that mean? Like, how bad was it? Oh, fuck.